My name is Guillermo Pernot.
This is Chef Otto. You're listening to the Break It Down Show.
And now, the Break It Down Show with John and Pete.
So this is a very special episode of the show because this is our inaugural voyage on the Food and Wine page on our website.
Wow.
And that is very,
This
very
is fantastic.
exciting. So we're very honored to have you both. And Chef Otto, I hear this is your first podcast.
This is my first podcast.
Holy shit. Now, podcasts are also not regulated by the FCC, so you can let language fly, do whatever you want. This is just like...
You're saying we can use the F-bomb?
You can...
The Frankfurter bomb?
Bomb away.
Okay.
Bomb away. So we just came from a very interesting dinner at the home of Maurice Canbar, who was the founder of Sky Vodka. Now, you guys are here for the Pacific Heights Wine and Food Festival, and that's thrown by our lovely friend Teresa Rodriguez. That's how we got access to you, but boy, am I glad we're here. Tell us, what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow's casual because tomorrow's Thursday, and we're not doing anything until Saturday. So tomorrow's kind of like I don't want to say it's a play day, but we'll sit down, Guillermo and I and the other chefs, and just figure out what needs to get done because you can't plan too much stuff in advance. You want to keep it as fresh as possible. So tomorrow I'll just sit down my menu and see what I have, what I don't have, what I need to get, maybe go shopping, go sightseeing around San Francisco. It'll be kind of a casual day, but I'll make sure I get my ducks in a row to get prepared for the dinner for Saturday night.
You guys have both been in the city plenty of times. The city, San Francisco, plenty of times though. Mm-hmm. You guys are San Francisco veterans. You guys are staying in this Airbnb, and this place is nice.
I know, it's a beautiful Victorian home. Yeah, and a great place to be too. Fillmore Street is just very hip.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
We're in the thick of the activity, and as I was saying earlier, you know, the world's changing. I mean, you got Uber for taxis, you now got Airbnb for places to stay, and you know they're kicking the hotel business to the curb. And you know, people like Guillermo and I who've been in the service business for years and watching this thing evolve, I'm just wondering how somehow, some way in the future, how this is going to affect our business with what we do.
Well, you already see it, pop-up restaurants in people's homes. My wife is telling me, well, why don't we do every first Saturday, because I usually don't work Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a dinner for like 24 people? I said, are you crazy?
She wants you to work on the night you've set aside for not working.
That's right. So, well, we're going to cook dinner for us and friends, so why don't we just make some money on that? And so it is happening. You got pop-up with the Twitter accounts and all that. People are doing that every
That's right, food trucks. So now you don't have to be bound to a single kitchen. You can say, this is what I want to do.
The movie Chef was all about a food truck, and his son, you know, tweeting out to the country where the food truck is going to be next. And I realized it was a movie, but it's not far off from reality.
What did you think about that movie?
Oh, I loved it.
I did too. Man, I loved it. I loved it.
I just wish it was. I mean, he had a beautiful wife and he left her.
I think she left him.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah. No, I think it definitely had to be she left him.
Yeah, but my favorite scene in that movie, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., this guy, what was he in the movie for 5-10 minutes? He just stole the show. I love the scene where you know the hot receptionist enters the room there. And he's like, she's pregnant and she thinks that she's telling me that it's my kid, but it's not because I had a vasectomy.
That's a great way to steal that movie too.
Shift gear, but now you watch that movie and you make Cuban sandwiches.
That's right.
All right, so tell me about that. What did you think about their Cuban sandwich and what they did?
It's good, but again, you know, movies. It gives you a little bit of non-reality. It's a little bit of fiction because things don't really happen that way. The Cuban sandwich was a good sandwich, but there are better Cuban sandwiches that the guy made. Although he was so popular, I think I could have opened a truck and done a better job than that. But I would have never left Sofia Vergara.
Oh my God! I call her Sophie Viagra. I mean, if you got a problem, she'll fix it. That chick's unbelievable.
And it'll last 4 hours.
Yeah, but you know, I think the movie, the concept in general, where the guy. And yeah, it's Hollywood and they do some crazy stuff there. But the fact that this guy says, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm sick of the brick and mortar restaurant. I'm going to hit the road with a food truck.
And then he ends up opening a restaurant anyway.
And then he gets a restaurant anyway. But yeah, I mean, food trucks are huge. I mean, in Dallas, They have weekly food truck rallies. I mean,
Sure.
it's huge, and I mean, I remember once upon a time it was called a roach coach, and these things went to these construction sites and fed these roughnecks. Now it's cool to have a food truck.
Right.
The best chefs in the country have food trucks,
And you're serving duck tacos. and
exactly.
There's stuff coming out of those food trucks that wouldn't have come out of the roach coaches that we grew up with.
Exactly.
And I ate off of those roach coaches because I'm a fat dude.
Yeah, but they're very
I will
expensive
find
too.
a decent plate of
These
food.
things are $120,000 pieces
Oh,
of equipment.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've replaced your restaurant with that thing. So, on the one hand, sure, there's compact spaces, but you guys are in a compact space right here where you
Yeah.
have to prepare. This Airbnb, this place is a great apartment, but it's an apartment, and you guys have a food and wine festival to throw, and Chef Guillermo,
we
you
gotta
have to put 40 pounds of tuna in this place.
Yeah, Hamachi actually. Yeah, 40 pounds. They're gonna come in, so it's coming in tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to butcher it and then try to put it away in a very civilized way in that refrigerator.
Chef
So-
Otto, I want to hear about your. Now you have 2 courses that you're
Two
preparing.
courses because one's not enough. I'm the host chef.
Oh my goodness,
That comes with the territory.
That's
You're a
right.
host chef. You got to make 2 things.
that's right.
That's right.
So, what are your 2 dishes?
Doing a spin on surf and turf. That's going to be the 3rd course. So first course is Guillermo's Hamachi, and then we got
And it's a hamachi ceviche.
It's a Hamachi veraniego.
Veraniego.
Yes, which is it's based on what the summer brings. Basically, tomatoes and basil, right?
Okay.
So I make the Hamachi ceviche tartar out of the belly of the fish, which is the fattiest part,
Oh my goodness.
with
Yes. Oh my goodness.
salt cured anchovies, capers, onions, and then
Oh,
we're gonna slice the hamachi, top of the hamachi. We make a crudo, but we're gonna top this tartar with a duck egg yolk.
oh, you fucking gotta be kidding
Yeah.
me! The only thing left is to serve it on a titty.
That's
the only
happening.
thing you
That's
could
gonna happen.
possibly do with that dish to make it any better.
We have
is
Friday
serve it
to
right on
play in the house. Nobody's gonna be around, so we can do whatever we want here.
I love these
So,
guys.
but it is so. Then what I did is I cured these tomatoes, these heirloom tomatoes from Lancaster County, in salt with fresh thyme and fresh basil for 2 days, and cure them in a very low temperature oven, and then I puree them in a Paco Jet, which is a supersonic blender, and I made this beautiful tomato paste with it that is going to be painted in the plate with ají amarillo. Ají amarillo is a Peruvian chile that I infuse with the colors of hamachi fume, like a fish stock, and then make a little basil foam just to finish it up. So that's a little bit of the summer. It's going to be a nice dish.
I want you to know that I'm going to listen back to this show, and there's no guarantee that I won't touch myself.
And we're going to do
taking
this.
food porn to the next level.
We're going to do this out of this home
Out of this
kitchen.
out of this kitchen.
He might even cut the hamachi in this kitchen table because we have no counter space.
I know, and I'm afraid this lady is going to be very upset when I do that.
She'll be fine.
There's a cutting board over there that
Yeah.
looks like it's made out of 5 Legos.
I'm going to have to figure it out.
You're going to have to cut 40 pounds of hamachi on it.
Yeah, it's going to be. And this hamachi is Japanese, so this hamachi has been traveling first class all the way.
It's been hand massaged by
Yes.
kabuki dancers.
This is how much this man cares about this food. He flew here, coach.
With
But
that
the-
fish.
And
But the
the
fish flew first class.
class.
Absolutely.
The fish got offered cashews in a porcelain dish,
Yeah.
and he ate the bag. He ate the bag.
Yeah.
of-
He ate the
of
Virginia roasted peanuts.
That's right.
A smoked salted almonds. And I got a box of cheese and crackers.
That's right. And the tuna watched more movies than he did.
Yes.
So, but I'm looking forward to Otto making the prep here because you got foie gras. So I'm gonna go around the corner and buy some eggs, and we're gonna have a nice breakfast with all the scraps.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So we had, hats off to Hudson Valley Foie Gras that stepped up and is donating all the foie gras, and they're donating the shipping too. They're totally giving us the foie gras for that. So there'll be some little foie gras canopies for the cocktail reception in the parlor before we sit down. First course again will be Guillermo's Hamachi, and then we got Felicia from down south there. She's a American regional expert. She worked for Emerald for 8 years. Felicia Suzanne. She's doing a U10 or 12 head-on shrimp and grits. That's the second course.
Man.
And then my course, I'm doing a spin on surf and turf. It's going to be called Scallop and Swine because I like to have fun. I mean, so shake it up there a bit, get a U10 scallop, sear it off. And I got this amazing product. Guillermo might know about it because it comes from his neck of the woods. I don't mean Argentina, I mean South Jersey. My friends Patrick and Lisa Lloyd own this farm.
Yeah.
It's the single oldest farm in New Jersey. It dates back to the 1600s, before America was America.
Wow. And
they grow garlic there.
Okay.
And they ferment that garlic, and they create the black garlic. And black garlic
Right.
is very good for you. The antioxidants in garlic are doubled when it's fermented.
That's right.
And I'm bringing.
And you know the old saying.
What do they say?
Once
Once you go black,
that's
you
right.
never go back. Well,
That's
let me
right.
tell you something. This black crack is unbelievable, and it's called black crack garlic, and it comes in like a little pepper mill, and you crack it on top, and it's got almost tobacco quality, dried fruit qualities. It's very resinous, and that's going to be topped off in that scallop, which is nice and bright white, with that black crack. And then we're going to throw a little pig in there. We're going to do a buttermilk brine pork tenderloin.
This is where I wish we had video because the enthusiasm that you express with your body language, coupled by the fact that Pete is sobbing. Pete's over here crying as you describe this dish. Please continue.
So then, just toying around some ideas, and it honestly, it's still not really finalized, but by and large, it's going to be the surf and turf, the scallop and pork tenderloin. There are going to be two kinds of beets. I'm thinking like maybe doing like a pickled golden beet for the scallop to cut that richness of the protein, and then maybe doing some purple beets and doing those raw in some sort of like slaw type preparation, and then I'm going to do like a sweet potato style risotto. So dice the sweet potatoes up and cook it risotto style.
Wow.
So that's going to be
And
that
serve
dish.
the pork on the bed of...
Yeah, with that scallop as well.
Oh, holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Not
some
mole.
work.
We had
Yeah.
mole tonight, which was delicious, by the way.
That
Thanks to
mole
Teresa.
was
Oh, it was
delicious,
unbelievable.
Teresa.
Tia Chichi recipe.
Tia Chichi's recipe, 17 ingredients.
Yes.
Sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds.
And a
all
whole lot of
roasted,
love.
and
Do-do-do-do-do.
a whole lot of love. Yeah. Dunk, 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 dunk.
And then thanks to Hudson Valley, this guy named Jack, who I haven't met yet, but he's a sales rep for the West Coast here, donating 9 libs of foie gras, which is, I don't know, it's probably close to $700.
Yeah, 30 pounds of foie gras. That sounds
Yeah,
like it.
it's not cheap. So donating that, and
If
I was
came up
toying
on
with some
30
different
pounds
ideas
of
about what
foie
I was
gras.
going to do. It's a surprise. I'm not going to get into too much, but it's going to be elegant. It's going to be saffron broth. There's going to be lobster in there, and then this one gentleman, I don't know what his name is, but he's one of the money men behind the festival. He's got this product called Soofo or Sofo, Soofoo.
Yeah.
It's a grain mixture, bulgur, farro, wild rice, etc. So I'm going to use that component in this dish.
Right. That's Maurice's product.
Oh, that's Maurice's
It is
product.
Maurice's product.
Oh, I did not know that.
So the story behind the product is that half of the world lives on rice as their
Beans and
starch.
rice, yeah.
Right. And half of the world lives on
wheat.
as their starch. And so he wanted to combine it and make it so that he had a universal starch that could be served all 3 meals. You can dress it up with sweet stuff for breakfast, make it
Yeah.
savory for lunch and dinner.
There is a dish. It's Lebanese, I believe. That is it's a pilaf basically that is made with lentils in the same process. At home, live with a Cuban. We have rice all the time, but I'm getting tired of it. So lately, I'm using bulgur wheat.
Oh yeah, bulgur's awesome.
And I love it. And I use all these other grains, and I started to like little by little, and we enjoy it. The other day we made a bulgur wheat with poached eggs and grilled asparagus for dinner.
Wow.
It was just fabulous.
Yeah,
It had
that sounds
everything that
terrific.
you needed. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So they toasted the bulgur wheat, Then
You got a little crunch there.
yeah, then we just simmer it with a little chicken stock, and then finish it with a little bit of butter with a poached egg and the grilled asparagus. It was a great dish. So it's turning me on to. He has the right idea, I think. White rice.
You know
is
what'd
really
be
bad
nice
for
on
you.
that dish? Like some pork shoulder. Oh yeah. Anyway,
So since me telling you what I'm going to serve for the surprise is not going to be letting the cat out of the bag, as this broadcast is going to be post
This is
the event.
gonna air after the
So
event.
So I'm going to tell you about this dish now.
All right.
So this dish is going to be called, Chef's Foie Gras Surprise. It's I believe it's Chef's Foie Gras Surprise with Sufu or Sofo. Because people read that like, oh, what the hell is that? So already you're creating intrigue. And then I write in there in honor of Michael Dominic. Now, Michael Dominic is very interesting because Michael Dominic, number one, Michael is my brother. He's got a son named Dominic, but that dish is not dedicated to either one of those two people. Michael Skibitsky was a chef that I learned from when I did my apprenticeship at the Pierre Hotel in New York City in the early 80s. And Dominic Cerrone is the sous chef I worked with at La Bernardin when I opened La Bernardin back in 1986. So I picked both their brains about this foie gras dish, and I'm paying homage to them for all their
input.
culinary genius that they brought to the table. So
Sure.
basically, here's what the dish. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to take that sofo, that grain, and I wanted to create some sort of base. But how do you do that with these grains? So I'm gonna roast some garlic or shallot and puree that and add that to those grains, and then get like a little ring mold and pat that down and make like a little base of this grain now, because it'll be held together with the glue of the roasted shallot and garlic.
Wow.
Take a nice slice of lobster medallion, put that on top of that little pedestal.
Okay.
Slice that foie gras. Some enoki mushrooms, some shiitake, some herbs, some asparagus, whatever, some nice little vegetables.
Right.
That's going to be in a bowl at the table. That's going to be covered. Then the server's going to come and take that plate off the bowl, put it underneath the bowl. Then they're going to pour a hot lobster saffron broth.
Sounds good.
Right to the heart.
Right to the heart, baby. This is
Sounds good.
that's a friggin'. Like I told Teresa, I said, listen, this event at that mansion in San Francisco where we're going to be, the Hal something mansion. This is a mansion that dates back to 1860. Victorian mansion, stellar setting. This is the crown jewel of this 5-day event. This is $350 a head for a fundraiser for the speech and hearing impaired of Northern California, and we got to hit this thing out of the park. And I'm psyched to work with Guillermo and Alejandro and Felicia and the pastry chef escapes me. He won't be there actually, but the guy won Just Desserts Top Chef first season. He's making 8 or 10 crazy cakes, off the chart cakes. So what's going to happen is after the entree is served, the 80 or so people are going to retire to the parlor, where all those cakes are going to be on a sideboard on a buffet.
Wow.
So it's going to be a fabulous night. I'm really excited about this evening coming up.
Yeah, that's really something.
Yeah.
And he's making the desserts in this kitchen too.
Yeah, and that friggin' microwave oven
In the
behind us.
microwave. Well, I got in.
We got a Mr. Coffee
I
and a
got in-
Holly Hobby oven with a 40-watt light bulb in it.
I've
He's
been in
gonna
hot
make those
water.
cakes in that.
I've been in hot water when they say, "Well, we need to make a cake." Well, it's not oven; it's a microwave. Well, give me a styrofoam cup, and we make it.
Make it happen.
We make a cake, a sponge cake in the microwave in 30 seconds.
And and since we're your inaugural food and wine show here, and if you guys don't know this by now, I'm just going to go on the record and tell you, as Guillermo knows as well, it doesn't matter, man. Chefs, we make it happen.
Make it happen. Absolutely.
That is the battle cry.
That's right.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
You
There's no way
freaking
around it.
make it happen.
Yep.
You do the best you can, and then it will happen. We'll come together.
You guys are the Navy SEALs of gastronomy.
The MacGyvers.
That's right.
The MacGyvers.
Exactly. Freaking chitty bang bang, man.
But look what we're doing here. We're sitting here in a kitchen. Now this kitchen, it became a radio station.
That's
or
right.
a public
Yeah.
station.
Just like that.
And tomorrow it will become a
Tomorrow
prep
we're going
kitchen.
to chop 40 pounds of hamachi and stand at your table.
And we have the cooler ready to go.
I'm going
And
to take
my-
a good long look at this table because this
Yeah.
is the last
Get-
it's going to look like
No,
this.
no, don't say that. God forbid.
This table's a beauty. It looks like
I
maple.
know. God forbid I put a scratch on it.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's a good idea to
We
get a
will make
good
it
cutting
happen.
board, though. that cutting board does not look like it's going to withstand this,
No.
this kind of production.
But you know, I find a dollar store about 2 blocks away. Maybe we can tape 3 or 4 cutting boards and get into,
making it happen.
making it happen.
Get
I already did.
Put some cardboard down on here. We'll make it happen. That's it.
So we were talking before. So Chef Guillermo is from Philly. Chef Otto is from Dallas. So we were talking before, and I just wanted to capture this. Pats or Geno's?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends what time of the night and how much you have to drink.
That's a good answer.
And sometimes the lines are longer one than the other. You just can't wait. You just have to have you 2 cheesesteaks. But they're both as good. I think they're and now it's a third player, which is but people say, well, how far can you go north to having cheesesteaks? I think you cannot pass South Philly. You got to be in South Philly.
That's
and
it.
That's the place to be.
South Philly. Is there a signature food of Dallas?
Peter Luke's. That's the name of the other.
There you go. Chef Otto, if we go to Dallas, what is the? I mean, it's in Texas, so naturally, you can say barbecue. That's a great answer. But is there a food that is specific to Dallas, where you say, "Oh no, while you're here, we've got to do this"?
That's a great question. And Guillermo was talking about Philly cheesesteak. You're bringing up Dallas and food there, and this is about regionality. This is American regional cuisine, and that's what's great about this country. And most people don't really realize or give much thought about to the expansive food we have in this country and how regional it really is. And, and absolutely,
and why we should celebrate that.
Amen, brother. Big amen on that. And so all throughout the South, barbecue is king. But the protein of choice down south is pork. Right. But when you come to Texas, it's beef.
That's right.
It's a whole different ballgame in Texas.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you. But what's interesting is one thing that you're probably not familiar with, and it's quite popular down there, and I've not really seen it anywhere else. It's called a kolache, which is a yeast bread type dough, small. And you roll it up and you put a little hot link or sausage in there and they bake that.
Oh, that sounds terrific.
Could have cheese, could not have cheese, but
either way.
Kolache is definitely a regional kind of thing. I believe that's got maybe some Germanic or Czech history to it. That when they came down there, there's a huge place in Texas called Fredericksburg, big German population.
Okay,
and it's the birthplace of Admiral Nimitz as well. And when you're down when you're down there, if you want to do a cool story, they have an amazing Pacific War museum.
In Dallas, Texas,
in Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg.
But something cool in Dallas. Go to the sixth floor museum where JFK was assassinated.
Yeah,
that's a pretty interesting thing to do.
I've been there a couple times.
Have you?
And I'm going to tell you this: that shot easy. I absolutely think Lee Harvey Oswald shot the president.
Did you?
That's so close. Yes.
Wow.
Well,
very
scary.
Close. Very, very close.
Wow.
It's a huge conspiracy, but I know one thing, that JFK was a huge fan of clam chowder, being a New England boy. Bringing it right back to the cuisine topic.
That's right.
Not controversial. But
let me ask you about the kolache, because this is almost like when I was a kid, we would take croissant dough and wrap it around a hot dog. And that would be our Tuesday night because my dad had bowling and we had to do something quick. So
that was your dinner.
Yeah. But you know what? Here's what I love. Anything that you do with a hot dog, do it with a hot link. And you win me over. Like a corn dog made out of a hot link. Oh, get out of my way.
Just ups the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I tell you, one must stop when you go to Dallas. You must go to a store there called Central Market.
Okay.
Bro, let me just tell you this. If Dina DeLuca and Whole Foods had a love child,
oh boy,
it would be Central Market.
Wow, that sounds like fun.
600 kinds of cheese.
20
some odd sausages, fresh daily. They have a whole, what they call a chef prepared case full of, 70, 80 items. They have a whole packed out wall, dinners for one, dinner for two, sandwiches, fresh squeezed juices. It is, you want to talk about food porn? That's ground zero for food porn. And what's funny is it's a privately owned family business, and no one knows about Central Market unless you're from Texas.
Wow.
The parent company is called HEB, stands for Howard Edward Butt, who was a real guy once upon a time.
Yep.
And
A
Howard,
real guy who would have to use his initials.
that's right. And once upon a time, back in the turn of the century, on West Texas, you know, when there was nothing but tumbleweeds floating around there, him and his mother opened up a store, and they called it HEB. It was a little general store on the frontier of western Texas.
Wow.
And from that, there's over 300 HEBs throughout Texas today and one superstore in Monterrey, Mexico. They are the 10th largest privately held company in America.
Wow.
And nobody
I
knows.
thought you were going to say food, you know, some but privately held
10th
company. 10th
largest privately held company in America.
Never heard of it.
They're also the biggest
It's
philanthropic arm in the state of Texas.
Wow.
That's tough to do.
When you're talking about the Pros and the Bass family and the Koch brothers, these guys give away more money to charity than anybody else.
Wow.
Wow. How do I know all this? I'm glad you asked. I used to work for them.
Okay.
I was a chef at one of the Central Market stores. Brutal.
The ground zero for food porn in Dallas.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
That is.
And you were the chef there?
I was a chef at one of the stores. There's 9 Central Markets throughout Texas. I was at the store in Southlake. We do like $8 million a year. Just in my area, just in Chef Prepared, probably did about 60 to 65% of that, $8 million, in 2 months.
Wow.
November
Christmas?
and December.
Yeah.
Ball breaker.
Wow.
Brutal. Holiday hotline,
Yeah.
you know, Mrs. Jones, oh, I want the turkey dinner. Yeah.
And she wants a chef prepared.
She wants a chef prepared. I got your chef prepared right here, Mrs. Jones.
I bet. I bet Mrs. Jones called for that too.
But why don't we? How come America doesn't know about these things? How come we don't know about this wonderful thing that, for example, Dallas has that nobody else knows about it?
I think Mrs. Jones was keeping Chef Otto to herself, for one thing.
And it happens all the way across the country.
It does happen all the way across the country, and that's one of the things that I love about when you find that gem of a place in whatever town you're in, is that you have that, oh man, I know something you don't know.
And you don't want to tell anybody.
Well, and that's almost an injustice, but something about that secrecy makes it worth the trek and raises the stock of that place. Which isn't to say that Central Market isn't going to be, flooded by new business and elated about it. But if you're in a place and you discover that little gem of a joint where grandma's back there making tamales and she can't even see anything anymore, but her hands are still working and she makes tamales like nobody's business, and everybody's tried to make them just the way she told them to make them, but it's just not happening. And, when you find that place, that little secret is terrific. And we don't want those things to die, but we don't want them to spread. There's that fine line where do I share this with the world or do I keep this to myself?
I love that Yogi Berra line where he said, that restaurant used to be great, but now it's so busy, no one goes there anymore.
That's right.
That's a good line.
Yeah, he had plenty of them.
I think that was his only food line, though.
Oh, that's too bad. I wish he would have eaten better. He might have been even funnier.
Well, food was a lot. It wasn't what it was like, in the 40s as it was today. That's for sure. When he was playing ball.
If you like the show,
And you do,
send us some pictures of your boobies.
don't do that. Support the show.
There are 3 ways you can support us.
Number 1, go to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And leave a 5-star rating and review.
It helps with the show metrics and helps us get better placement. Number 2,
Visit our website.
www.breakitdownshow.com.
We've got an Amazon and an eBay link.
Same Amazon, same eBay, you know and love, but they give us a little kickback when you get to their site from ours. And number 3, leave comments about the shows that you like. We want to know what you think, how you feel.
Tell us how to make the show better. We greatly appreciate it.
Now back to the show.
We like boobies.
We have availability unlike we've ever had in human history right now. I mean, the ingredients that you speak of, you're talking about foie gras from the Hudson Valley and black garlic that comes from the oldest farm in America in South Jersey. And then hamachi that's coming from Tokyo. I mean, what other time could we have replicated this combination of ingredients? This is why it's glorious to be alive now.
It is. You can get a lot of great stuff. The food is growing, and the versatility, the creativity of the chef is growing, and the collaboration between chef and farmers and growers.
Look at you two fucking guys in the same place doing this weekend.
I know.
Well, it's
Really?
awesome. And
Yeah.
we didn't know each other
We
until
don't know each
a couple
other.
weeks ago.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't today.
Well, yeah,
We
we
met
met
first
physically, but yeah, on the phone, a couple of phone calls, and that was it.
Yes, it.
But no, it's great. And, the chefs, this is a very special fraternity. I mean, this is,
Yep.
I know the shit he goes through. He knows the shit I go through. And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, let's get through this shit together, and then we're going to go out and freaking get hammered. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
This is one of the things I also love about chef culture, because you guys have to endure. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I love, if I could learn how to cook, I would open a restaurant. No, cut it out. You know what? And also, if you could learn how to shoot, you'd be a superhero and you'd be fighting crime. But that's not going to happen either for most people, because they don't understand that in order to be a chef, the things that you have to endure to rise to the level where you have the capability to make it happen. Because we count on you to make it happen and make our meal fantastic. And in order to get to the place where you can do that, you have to endure the late nights, the long hours. My God, I shudder to think what your feet must look like.
My wife had all the cutouts of newspapers and magazines, and she puts them all in this beautiful folder, and they have like 3 or 4 or 5 of those. I said, what are you sending that shit for? I said, you know what she asked? She said to me, to show your kids where your father's been all their lives.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That is heavy.
Wow.
Like, really? Could
Well,
you put a knife
true.
on my back a little bit? I mean, in my heart a little deeper.
The tough life.
I guess I'm going to have to start saving flyers from strip joints.
But that's what she said. But that's the truth. I miss so many soccer games,
Yeah.
so many
Birthdays.
recitals, birthdays. Forget about New Year.
I mean, all the times when everybody else wants to celebrate, that's when you have
that's
to
right.
go to
Forget
work.
about Thanksgiving for many years. And the hotel, when I was in the
Mother's
hotels,
Day.
Four Seasons,
Mother's Day.
Easter Sunday.
Easter,
hotels, especially hotels.
Oh,
Four Seasons.
Mother's Day is the worst day of the year for a chef. Worse
Yeah.
than Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Valentine's Day is too top hell.
Right.
It's it's cool, but it's also a pain in the ass. But and the thing about chefs enduring, let's face it, it's like being a musician or being a fashion designer or artist. Hey, there's always some new young buck that's got something to prove,
That's
and
right.
God bless him or her. But you look at Paul Bocuse, the great Paul Bocuse. This guy's had 3 Michelin stars for 50 years.
Yeah.
This is no joke, man. This guy's a freaking Carl Ripken of cuisine.
Yeah, 4 restaurants with 3 Michelin stars. So
4 restaurants with 3 Michelin stars.
But again, you miss all those things.
Yeah.
You miss everything.
Yeah.
And then you get to have gray hair or no hair.
Or no hair.
right?
Or crazy hair.
And or crazy hair. And then you just you relax a little bit. But
Yeah.
those in the beginning.
So, like
Was
Guillermo,
brutal.
I mean, the guy's got 4 restaurants. He's got a wife and kids. I mean, me, I'm a different story. I was married once. I'm divorced now. I've been divorced ever since I got divorced 20-some years ago. But, now I work for a company called Guggenheimer, which is similar to Sodexo or Aramark, corporate food service.
Yeah.
Bro, I work Monday through Friday, 6 to 4. I work 5 days a week. I have nights off, weekends off, holidays off.
You paid those dues.
Bro, yeah. I got the stripes on my back, man.
Yeah.
I more than paid my dues, and I have a life now, and I got an awesome. I'm a traveling chef for this company. Next week, I'm going to go to Memphis.
Oh.
Can I get an amen and some food up there and some music? So I'm
'Cause
going
I
there.
love pork too.
I'm going there because Nike has a distribution center, and the company I work for, Guggenheimer, has got the food service contract for the Nike distribution center in Memphis. So I'm going to go up there and help them open this property up. I spent 10 weeks in Norwalk, Connecticut this past summer, away from the Texas triple-digit heat. Another big amen to that. Working for Bridgewater, another client of ours. Maybe you never heard of them, maybe have. The single biggest hedge fund on the planet. They manage $150 billion. We feed their people.
They got a little money to throw around on duck confit and foie gras.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Hamachi.
And all that food, they don't have to pay. The employees don't pay a cent for it. They all give it to them.
Did you see the movie The Intern?
No.
Were these interns like they're working for Google, so to speak?
Right.
And these pantries or micro kitchens, they're just like hoarding shit, like potato chips, Lay's, and Toblerone chocolate candy bars, and Nantucket nectars, and like everything's free. I mean, the food budget for Google is like $60 million a year.
Yeah.
You want a fucking ostrich egg omelet today, sir? Coming right up.
Yep.
I mean, it's that crazy.
It is that crazy. The thing is that it also wasn't lost on me that Guillermo said he doesn't work Saturday nights.
No.
So I'm very happy to see that you guys.
No, I'm thrilled he's not working Saturday night. But hey, he's also the chef owner.
That's true. But my point in this is that I'm happy to see that you guys have gotten to a place where you can at least now enjoy some of the fruits of your labors. Take some of those holidays that you've sacrificed year after year after year for a couple of decades and take it easy a little bit.
Well, you can't take it easy. You just have to keep going.
Jeez, man, I'm trying to give you a little bit.
No, you can't take it easy. If you take it easy, you die. I mean, you might as well just keep at it. Look, there are times that I spend 8 weeks away from home and opening a restaurant. No days off, 14 hours a day.
Right.
Boom. And, the associate needs to know the recipes.
That's right.
And I'm the one who's showing it.
And they have to be firsthand.
And I'm be the one who showed it to them.
We have to tell our listeners that your restaurants are in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C.,
Orlando,
and
the Tropicana Casino in Atlantic City.
The Tropicana Casino in Atlantic City.
And we changing things around. For example, at Atlantic City, we decided that we need to change things. So how are we going to change it? So we're going to put a 9-foot wood-burning oven, wood-burning grills.
9-foot wood-burning grill.
Wood-burning grills.
9-foot wood-burning
with
grill.
wood-burning plancha and hot smokers.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of it. And roast whole animals. And that's going to be at the end of the restaurant. So it's going to be the only...
Big visual.
The only restaurant in Atlantic City that has that.
Oh, what
why
a
do
smell,
we put that
too.
stuff? We are busy anyway. So
Right.
why do we do that? Just because we have to
That's
do
right.
it. Because we
It's
need
there
to
to be
put-
done.
It's there to be done. And you have to take advantage of those. When the opportunities come, you have to take advantage
I mean,
of it.
you guys are busy all the time anyway, but I also know that in the summer, you guys roast a whole pig in a parking spot in front of your restaurant in Philadelphia. They get 2 parking spots, just like Tom Hanks and
We put a cajachina.
and what's his name, Scolari at the beginning of Bosom Buddies, where they were doing their sunbathing and putting money in the parking meter. That's these guys. They put money in 2 parking meters right next to each
That's
other,
right.
and they spread out their setup and they roast
Cajachina. And we'd be there for 9 hours roasting pigs.
9 hours roasting whole
Love it.
pigs.
So this idea with this 9-foot grill and the plancha and roasting these whole animals, that's about enduring. Like you said, no one in AC is doing that.
Yeah.
No, Guillermo's doing it now. Because
We're
why?
gonna do it.
Because he's filling a void, and it's like my first boss told me that Eddie Sam, that guy taught me so much. Oh my God, that guy was like a freaking carnival barker for P.T. Barnum. He was amazing.
Thank you, Eddie.
And Eddie Sam was the man. And so he's like, Otto, you got to be different. Why is someone going to go to your restaurant over somebody else's restaurant? I mean, that was just one of the nuggets he taught me, but that was probably the biggest one. You got to be different. Hell, I was different when I was 16 to begin with. He just gave me the green light on that one. He just confirmed it. But
I wish you guys could see what Chef Otto has on. He's never ever. I've known you 3 hours. You've never had a problem being different.
yeah, I never had a problem with it, man. Hey, we're all born different, and chefs are different individuals as well. And I love that quote. I'm not sure who said it or exactly. I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like we're all born with imagination and different thoughts. But yet, what happens is as we get older, we get into this streamlined mode of activity and become parents and raise kids, and we no longer become creative anymore. And that's why there's only one conductor to every 1,000 violinists, because we don't maintain our creative juices that we had, that we were born with. We lose that for some reason. And I'm not losing mine, brother.
Clearly. And this is a great segue into, you have a book.
Hey, how about that? Not yet, but it's in the works. Yeah.
Yeah. How far in the works are you?
Well, that's a great question. It's actually not a book; it's 3 books.
Holy shit! Now it's 3 books.
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
Okay.
Absolutely. Why not?
It's 3 courses of book.
That's exactly right. And the first course is the appetizer. And the first course is called Born to Be a Chef. And it's about my life from day 1 to age 22 when I got discharged from the U.S. Navy. So lots of interesting tidbits in there.
One of which is that you went to Guam.
I was in Guam, yes. I served on the USS Patrick Henry, a nuclear-powered submarine that was stationed in Pearl Harbor. That was always based in Agana, Guam. I did 5 patrols out of there. I cooked. I fed the men who served our country on that submarine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though, that
Yeah.
you can cook out of those things.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Half a day, by the way.
Half a day, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't talk much. Go ahead, chime in.
Well, we were sharing a microphone over here. So you
Who's Sharon?
Sharon, hey.
She's the one whose tit we're
You got the fog on her. What about book 2? What's in book 2?
Okay, so basically here's the strategy of the book. When I was formatting the idea for the book and started writing down the 5 decades of my life, and I was like, Otto, this is a big ass book. It's going to take you forever to write it. It's going to be the size of the Manhattan Yellow Pages. No one's going to read this freaking thing. So that's when I chopped it down into thirds. So the first book is called Born to Be a Chef. It's about day 1 to age 22. The second book, you got to have some controversy. You got to have like some bad stuff. So that one's called Drugs, Deceit, and Divorce.
Wait a minute. You mean that there is drugs, deceit, and divorce in a restaurant?
Hard to believe that, isn't it?
In the restaurant?
I was the first guy to do that. That's why I'm writing a book about it.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's
I'm
why
not
insurance company the one
I'm not
insure
going to
us.
skip book 1, but I'm going to look forward to book 2.
Yeah. Book 2 is going to be meaty.
Yeah, you get off a submarine full of dudes, and you're like, bitches beware, here I come.
Well, that's one thing you say. Hopefully you don't say, Jesus, it smells bad in there.
Yeah.
But it can't smell bad in there because you were cooking in that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. On the submarine, you make your own air, you make your own water. You big desalter kit back there. So it's a self-contained unit, and it's
Wow, that's fascinating.
So what do you do with the fumes of the kitchen?
everything. It gets ventilated. Yeah,
Wow, it's
ventilation.
amazing.
Yeah. No nuclear. I mean, the submarine could stay submerged for 10 to 15 years. The only thing you had to do is reload food and crew sanity, but it's meant to stay submerged. The kind of sub I was on, which was what they call an FBM, a fleet ballistic missile sub, which carried 16 missiles. That's the first line of defense in a nuclear war.
Right.
We're telling our enemies during the Cold War, hey, you want to get smart with us?
We got this thing pointed at you
all
the time.
and you have no idea where it's at. And there's 41 of them out there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's heavy.
Well, they have them too.
They have them too. And here's the good news. As soon as they hit that missile to fire that bird, guess what? They will track you down because the satellite's going to find out exactly where that bird came from. They know. So thank God
you never had to pull the trigger.
you never had to pull the trigger. And as the leadership would say on the submarine, if we ever shot our missiles, we failed our mission.
That'd be that. Oh, yeah.
We failed our mission because our mission was a deterrent,
Right.
not an offensive weapon.
That's one of the reasons why they brought Russians onto our subs, to say, look, even our pea knife in our kitchen is rubberized, so it doesn't make sound.
Exactly.
And they're like, we haven't thought of any of this, and it freaked them out. So they're like, all right, well, let's back off a little bit.
Wow.
We don't even let the guys chew celery on this boat.
Exactly.
My God.
All right. You also worked in Vegas at the Bellagio. So
Yeah.
you know the casino restaurant game, and everybody's got a steakhouse. Everybody's got a taqueria. Everybody's got a sushi. How do you stand out in Vegas?
Wow, that's a friggin' awesome question.
And a tall order.
And a tall order. Hey, let's go back to Eddie. You got to be different. And the great thing about Vegas is Vegas has got money, and Vegas can afford or the casinos can afford to lure Jean-Georges and Bobby and Emerald and all these big gun chefs and pay them obscene amounts of money, because guess what? The average casino in Las Vegas makes $1 million a day. Everything. Once upon a time, back in the 60s and 70s and even into the early mid 80s, it was $3.99 all you can eat buffet.
Terrible.
Those days are long gone.
Long gone. They figured out that was a profit center.
Long gone. Well, and they didn't necessarily figure out it was a profit center. They figured out it can be a profit center. They're always going to make money off gambling.
Yeah.
But they figured that, hey, what else can we do to keep our guests in these hotels and not let them go to the competition? I mean, they're talking about having friggin' booty bars in these hotels now to keep the guys in there.
You got to make your own air. You got to make your own. You got to be self-contained. And you got to keep
exactly.
guys in there for six months.
But to stand out in Vegas, that's a great question. It's a tall order, but at the same time, they got the money to bring the guys in who can. I mean, you got Pierre Gagnaire there. You got Ducasse there. Robuchon was there. You got these big French guns there, and I'm not so sure if the American clientele even really gives two shits about Frenchies coming over here anymore. Because back in the day,
that was a big deal.
Well, it was like this in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. All these Swiss chefs, German chefs, Italian chefs, stupid American, you do not know shit about cooking. Those
that line
days
is going to lead this show.
Those days are gone, bro.
Yeah.
And our chefs are on par with any chef of the world. Our product is on par with any product in the world. I mean, when Paul Bocuse visits America, he freaking brings back Idaho potatoes and Iowa beef with him back to Lyon, France, because he can't get that product over there.
He needs to go down to Dallas and get one of them fucking wrapped up hot links.
He needs to get a Kolache.
If he knows what's good for him.
The American palate too kind of has created, I think, this way of doing the chef thing, swine and surf, kind of thing. We are willing to mix. Sushiritos is a great example. I love a sushirito, and you can't do that in Germany. They don't get it. They don't get it,
especially Germany.
Right.
No, you're exactly right. And that's the great thing about America. And Guillermo, jump in on it. You're from South America, and I'm not sure how it operates down there, but I mean, in this country, it is a melting pot. Anything goes.
Anything goes. Look at Guillermo is from Argentina,
yeah,
and he's in Philadelphia making Cuban food.
Yeah, well, we are Argentinians, so South Americans are more
similar.
They're not so wild. We have some structure,
okay,
and some culinary history. We want to just do the things the way they've always been done.
Right, Grandma makes tamales.
That's right. The empanadas are made that way. Every Sunday you have the big grills, and the wood is cut from certain tree, and it's put in certain place, and the temperature and the grill has to be a certain way, and nothing changes. So that's what I'm here, trying to do new things. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate those new things.
You can map South America and the Caribbean out by their meat pie, by their empanada, and how they do it. And they all claim we invented it. It's just like a hummus in the
or ceviche.
Yeah, exactly. We invented it. This is the right way to do it. But then you come to America and you're like, oh, you're going to make hummus? Can you put some red peppers in that?
That's right. Exactly. Right. Like, what?
Just change a centuries-old recipe that they fight to the death over. And we're like, yeah, whatever. How about some green olives whipped up in there?
Jalapeno.
How about a Caesar salad with shrimp? With some grilled shrimp.
Yeah.
Or some grilled chicken for that matter.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I mean, yes, we are more traditional. Argentinians and South Americans in general. Brazilians, Chileans. Now, Peru, on the other hand, Peru is changing the world food by what they're bringing out of the jungles, what they're bringing out of the oceans. And those chefs are doing crazy things in Peru. With
How's
crazy
guinea pig?
ingredients.
Have you guys had guinea pig?
Yes.
How is it?
It's just similar to a squirrel or a possum kind of.
I don't want it to be that. I want it to be like
Tabasco.
I want it to be like a
cover that shit
pig.
up, man.
Yeah, I guess so. I wanted you to say, you know what? It's like a suckling pig, only a little
smaller.
A little smaller, yeah.
Without minus a squeal.
Because I love that they fit it on a plate.
Now
I love that you could plate the whole animal, and I want it to just taste better.
Yeah, in Cuba there are some rodents that they eat
exactly
fruits and such, and you can get them and they taste cinnamon and fruits because they eat mangoes.
On Guam, we eat fruit bats.
Well, I
It's
heard
the same thing.
that.
They just eat fruit. So
Coconut
crab. Did you have coconut crab when you were in Guam?
I had it in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right.
They just eat coconut.
So how delicious can that be?
That's right. Sweet, wonderful.
Right.
You know, you talk about the traditions, and that's a great point you bring up about South America. And, you know, this is a young country.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, next to Australia, we're the two new kids on the block. And, you know, Australia's got a crazy food scene. And so we don't really have any traditions.
That's right.
To jack
We're not
with.
locked into anything.
No. But again, if you go to places again like Dallas, Memphis, you go to New England, you go to places in central Pennsylvania, and the Black Mountains of the Carolinas, or you find Virginia, you find this food that it's been there for many, many generations.
That's true. You will find that.
You find that. And
Louisiana.
Louisiana, exactly.
Best for me, for my money?
Yeah.
That is the single best food area of this country.
Favorite city.
Oh my God!
Favorite
Can you?
city.
Them people friggin' drink and eat and party, and that's their way of life.
That's right.
There's no other. And because you know why? The friggin' English were never there. That was run by the Spanish and the French.
You're absolutely right.
And that's
they never got the puritanical influence.
Yeah, and man,
So it was party time.
Oh my God! And thank God for that, because birth of jazz.
I agree.
Yeah.
So yes, Americans do crazy things to food, but there are a lot of great food in this country that has been here for many generations that we have to take advantage of it. And we cannot lose it.
And when I talk to a lot of people from other countries, and I'm a chef, and they go, well, what's American food? Pizza, hamburger. I mean that's what they really at KFC.
Sure.
I mean, I like to use a term that
would be like if we thought that the only Mexican food was Taco Bell.
Well, I'm one of the chefs for the State Department, and I represent the Chef Corps of the United States. So I went to Honduras.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton started
I'm
it
glad that
when she was Secretary of State.
So here we have
amazing.
an Argentinian making Cuban food, and he's in charge of preserving the.
That's America, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I went to Honduras.
And he went to Honduras to do some shit. Okay, first thing I need is to go to Honduras.
I was gambling in Honduras.
And I needed to explain and show the Hondurans that Americans eat other things but McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and stuff like that.
Yes, they do.
Because that's what they think the Americans eat. So I made a huge dinner at a hotel down there and invited
What'd you make?
a lot of pork.
Yeah.
All right.
I made 3 of the most beautiful legs of pork that you've ever seen in your life. So I showed them that this is what America is based on cultures from different countries, and we don't need just fast food. That's all they think we do. And it's amazing how misrepresented America is.
Way to execute that mission, man.
And we did a good job.
Yeah,
You did a
thank
good
for
job.
that.
And the Chef Corps goes all over the country. All over the world, I'm sorry.
How
I
many
need to
of the
get
chefs
involved
are-
with that, man.
Yeah,
Sign me
yeah,
up,
you
dude.
sure do.
I'll take the oath. I'm a military guy. Come on, get me in.
Not
Absolutely.
only that, he's from Ohio,
Yeah.
right in the middle. He's got
Yeah.
all the cuisines covered for as far as you can reach in every direction.
Absolutely.
But,
Yeah.
part of this.
And he has the personality too. That's no
But,
question.
Wait, Chef Otto? You saying has personality? Okay, I just
He
make
has
sure
it.
you
Yes.
make
But,
sure
you
I
know,
got that right.
part of this problem America has in terms of other countries recognizing our food or lack of it, or what they think American food is the fact that I like to say that America is an empire of influence. When you look at the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, these empires of old, these were massive real estate holdings.
Yes.
We don't own massive real estate, but we own massive influence.
That's right. That's right.
We have outposts all over the globe. And
Right.
when you're in Manila, Philippines, or Timbuktu, or in Argentina, and you see KFC or Ronald McDonald or Burger Chef, oh, that's American. That's what they eat there.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing and a curse.
Sure.
Yeah, it is a curse, definitely. No question about it.
No blessing.
No blessing. My kids were not allowed to eat any fast food until they were able to order themselves or drive themselves to any place like that.
Yeah.
They were not. I would never take them to it.
You don't catch my white ass in a freaking fast food joint ever.
Except an In-N-Out in Los Angeles. Exactly. Like you got to have that.
In and out. But every now and then is all right, though. It's in moderation. You know, we don't
Yes.
live on that kind of food.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You know, I remember I went to Guatemala 2 years ago for a mission trip, and I'm in Guatemala City, and I walked into this little coffee shop, not a Starbucks, but like a, privately held coffee shop. And I was so fascinated by this. I took a picture of it. The guy, it was just on a regular 8.5 by 11 paper. Somebody did like a little etching or a pencil drawing of a McDonald's. And it said Ronald McDonald El Diablo. And it's got all these little Guatemalan kids, normal little kids walking into the McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then on the exit door,
As if it's a sausage factory.
they're Gordo.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
That's hilarious.
I took my phone out, took a picture. I was like, look at this, man. This,
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
the terrible
about-
thing is that they get it on a level that we don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, let's face it, guys. The dinner time at the family table that is so prevalent, especially in Hispanic cultures, it's damn near non-existent in America, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It is not. Well, my kids, you sit on the table and they're like this.
Yeah.
I said, could you put your fucking phone down? I mean, I'm here.
Yeah.
Well, this is important. No, just put it down. Just leave it somewhere else.
To the benefit of the chefs, though, we eat out a lot.
Oh, hell
as
yeah.
a nation.
Every chance I get, man.
Yeah. I mean, we just, like for me as a single dude, it's cheaper for me just to go out rather than cook and waste the food that I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
It is true,
Yeah.
but also you should cook smarter. Try to cook one meal that will take you 3 different days. And that meal today could be a roasted chicken with vegetables. Tomorrow is a chicken salad. And the next day, all those vegetables and all that makes a chicken soup. So you get good food, save money, and you are healthy. You can't go out and eat pizza. I mean, I love pizza. I love all that crap. But I crave it sometimes. But I gotta say no.
But right around the corner is Burger Yum, and I like Burger Yum.
I don't know what that is.
Just a burger place, a burrito place,
yeah,
chicken
yes,
wings,
exactly.
whatever it's going to
Yes,
be.
the Popeye. I mean, come on, I
Oh, my
love fried
goodness.
chicken. But you know what? I'm gonna grab my chicken and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make it at home. I fry it, but I make it myself. So today will be that. Tomorrow will be cold chicken with lots of mayonnaise. Right? Because mayonnaise and fried chicken go together.
Because fried chicken is not a cholesterol bomb enough
That's
No.
right.
that you have to.
So that's what I have to take a pill
Dip it
every
in
day.
mayonnaise.
That's what I said. This is a 2-pill meal. That's a 1-pill meal.
But hey, you go to Belgium, and one of the biggest, I don't know if I want to call it junk food, but one of the most common things they eat over there is frites with mayo.
Yeah.
Sure.
They freaking love with different flavor. They love that.
I love it too.
Instead of ketchup, frites with mayo. And to me, as an American, I don't get it.
I do.
I do
I'm with
too.
you, Guillermo.
I love mayonnaise.
Yeah, me too.
I love mayonnaise much more than ketchup. Ketchup is too sweet. And salsa
love
golf
ketchup too, but-
you ever had a salsa golf?
No, what is
It's
it?
ketchup and mayonnaise.
Wow.
And you get this delicious.
The 50-50?
That's right. And it's called salsa golf. It has a name. It has a name, culinary name.
I want to know for you guys, each of you, what's your secret hidden pleasure when you go out and you're like, I hope no one sees me here. What's that thing? Is it McNuggets? What kind of thing?
I don't know what it is. I know I pig out on sushi a lot. I mean, I can spend $150 on myself on sushi.
It's not a scandalous thing, though. Nobody's going to walk by.
No.
I
Yeah,
swear
I'm
was
with
in
Guillermo.
the
I'm a
thing.
sushi guy, but I mean, honestly, I would have to really go through my cobweb-infested reign of abuse to remember when the last time I actually went into freaking Ronald's Magic Castle to get something to
Yeah.
eat.
But not necessarily that. Maybe it's, Culver's frozen custard or.
Maybe it's a moon pie.
Listen, I'll sit down and crank out a friggin' whole fucking pint of Ben and Jerry's like twice baked or
Chunky
totally
monkey.
baked. Yeah,
There we go.
one sitting.
Well,
no problem.
I just eyeballed the corner store, the liquor store, and they have a freezer full of ice creams and good ice
Yeah,
creams.
we'll go
And
right here in the corner.
Yes,
And
in the
they're
corner.
they're open
It's
till
open
2.
at 2 o'clock.
That's
in
where
the
we're
morning. So,
Little post-interview ice cream binge.
but
Or like the It's It factory that's down on 101 and they make ice cream sandwiches.
But okay, yeah, I think I found what it is. Oreo cookies with Diet Coke.
Wow.
Okay.
Don't tell my wife that.
But
I would polish the whole box with Diet Coke.
I used to make
question.
this on the sub too as a treat. I haven't had it in years, but man, I used to freaking love it. I tell you what, I would make just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then I would French toast batter it,
Oh my goodness.
and then cook it like French toast with maple syrup and vanilla ice cream. Dude, the warm peanut butter, it's like liquid.
Yeah.
It's oh my yeah. I mean that was back then. I haven't had one in ages, but that was definitely a little
somebody-
snack.
Yeah, I think that's it. If somebody doesn't see me, that's what I was sneaking on.
In the Chow halls, they have a meal called Midnight Chow, right? And it's for the people that work kind of swing shift and everything. And we had a guy that he couldn't drink when he was there because you can't drink, so he replaced that with sugar. And so his last name was Corfanta, and so we would make the Corfanta Deluxe. It's kind of like the Delmonico cut, So you grab 2 waffles, or like waffle and French toast, ice cream, and all of it, like a cookie, and you just made like a Dagwood of
Stack that mother.
yeah, and you just stack it.
It was a sweet club sandwich.
Yes, exactly. It was wonderful. The Corfanta Deluxe.
I'm going to get one of those on the way home.
My God. You don't sleep for 2 days.
Corfanta Deluxe.
Yes.
Jesus. Hey, you guys, we've had over an hour of your time. That's typically where we call it quits on a podcast. But I got to tell you,
all good, man.
we
Whatever
could
works.
do this endlessly.
Yeah.
I hope we get
And we are
together
not
again
drinking.
soon.
Yeah, we're not
Imagine
even
if we were
drinking.
And
drinking.
we weren't even drinking.
No, if we're drinking, forget about it.
So
we can
this
go on
is-
forever.
This is, and I'll even speak for Pete because I know I can safely speak for him. When we get to Philadelphia, we're absolutely going to do this again. When we get
Yeah.
to Dallas, we're absolutely going to
Yeah.
do this again. And I hope we get to do this again with all of you. Do you guys have anything that you want to plug? Twitter handle, Facebook? What are you guys on?
We are on in all the things. I mean, we have Twitter, Facebook. We have all. You
Tell
can
us the
find
name of your restaurant again.
Cuba Libre Restaurant and Rum Bar.
Restaurant and rum bar. And it's Cuba Libre in all 4 places?
That's correct.
Terrific.
We have a great selection of rums.
Cuba Libre Cuatro.
Cuatro.
Yeah. So if you are in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., Atlantic City,
Orlando.
or Orlando, Florida,
Come and see us.
come and see Cuba Libre.
And in October, I'm taking a group of people to Havana
Yeah?
for a culinary trip for 5 days. Eat
Wow.
and drink and dance. And I'm gonna do that in March again.
How do we get a
So
ticket to
I
that?
want to do that in March. I'm not even joking. I want to do that.
We're gonna do it in March again.
Wow.
It's a great trip. We
Chef
go to-
Otto, how do our fans reach you?
You can find me on my webpage, which is chefotto.net. I'm also on Facebook. That's OTTOBORSICH. Book hopefully will be out sometime late winter, early spring. If you're ever in Texas, come on down and see me. I'll show you guys the ropes. I'll take you to Billy Bob's, the world's biggest honky tonk.
I will go.
With indoor rodeo.
All right.
That sounds like
I
fun.
won't participate in the rodeo,
It's
but
a
I'll
good
eat
time.
barbecue and
It's a
I'll
good
watch
time.
it.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be doing our friends a service if we didn't mention one of our favorite restaurants in our hometown. It's called The Workshop. It's run by a guy named Danny, and it's New Orleans style cuisine.
Oh, cool.
And fantastic. He's got this world class sandwich. Well, all of them are really good, but we love The Workshop. It's in Benicia. You definitely should check that out.
In Benicia.
Yeah, if you guys get to Benicia, boy, I will.
Oh, I'm huge with Cajun Creole. So
Tell you what, I will fuck you up with a Danny Glassmaker oyster po' boy.
Oh my God! I love that.
He's the real deal.
He's got a brisket sandwich as well. That he is working on perfecting the recipe, and there's nothing wrong with this sandwich at all. But the place where you get it, it's the leftover beef, and then the bartender has to go make the sandwich, and it's just
that's the downfall of chefs. Now we always got to tweak it. We always got to make it one step better. We can't leave it alone. How can let me throw some shrimp on that Caesar salad. For example, we got to elevate it.
That's right. Well, words to live by. We should all be so passionate about our work. And thank you guys, man. I'll tell you what, I've like I said, I've known you guys for about 3 hours. I've fallen in love with both of you.
It's been a pleasure, guys. It's
Thank
been a
you.
lot of fun.
Pleasure.
thanks.